Zach, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us. Look at that, Zach. She's welcoming us with open arms. She's even willing to share that tasty morsel with us. What an honor.
Hurry up and chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Carré, sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
I'm the chef, David. If you want to know about the town, you'd better ask the concierge. Only amateur chefs flap their gums about stuff that ain't food-related.
Did you hear that, Zach? He's a true professional.
You say something, mister?
No, not to you. I was just talking to Zach.
Zach?
Please don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter.
If you say so, still. Never thought the FBI would ever come out to a little old town like ours.
I do work for the FBI, but I didn't come here for an investigation. I just happened to stop by on my way to New Orleans.
Never thought there'd be a murder out here either. And it was a 16-year-old kid. Now, I tell you, this country's seen better days. What you reckon, mister?
Zach, he's definitely a professional, but it seems like he's also a bit lonesome. That's good. Ambivalence exists everywhere.
Folks say the killer used an axe. Hell of an old-fashioned choice, if you ask me.
Actually, Chef David, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident.
Well, shoot. I ain't the one you ought to be asking, Mr. FBI. I only heard what I heard. But seeing as you're fixing to grill me, I can tell you what I know.
Please do. I appreciate it. You said the victim was a 16-year-old. Did you know her?
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson family.
The Clarkson family?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way in here? The one above that huge cold storage complex. Should have had a dragonfly on it. Anyway, that's the Clarkson family seal. They own most of the land around here, from the sugar plantations right down to the food processing plant. Yeah, I reckon they got a stake in just about everything. They even own the water tower on the edge of town, you know. They're the ones who built up this town, and they still support it.
What do you know about the Clarksons' house?
Now, I ain't got nothing bad to say, but I'm gonna talk straight to you. You best steer clear of that place. That family ain't just some gang. They folks with real power. Remnants of the good old boys who shaped America in the early days. Especially the head of the family, P.J. Clarkson. He's the kind of monster who goes around eating other monsters. And I'm sure he's on edge now with his granddaughter getting murdered and all. So don't go barging in with that shiny FBI badge of yours and think you'll be safe for nothing. Things are different down here. So if you plan on sticking around, you best remember that.
I see. I'll keep that in mind. Is the local law enforcement investigating the case?
Shoot, mister, what you think? Now, I told you this ain't no city. We in the bona fide boondocks here. They got to know how to break up fights and keep folks from killing each other when they pissed you off. They sit down and talk it out with you heart to heart, and when that don't work, they just beat your ass. That's the Deep South for you. This murder ain't like that, though. A little kid got killed. A weird way. Like something on a TV show. The sheriff's department ain't never seen nothing like this.
Live and Let Die, Angel Heart, and The Pelican Brief, right? 9 out of 10 people will name those titles when you ask them to think of a film set in New Orleans. They're all excellent movies, but to me they lack realism. Due to my line of work, I have a tendency to think deeply about what feels real and what doesn't.
What's your point?
Cat People. That's my point. Cat People, 1982, directed by Paul Schrader, the crowning achievement of Nastasia Kinski, the ultimate muse of the 80s. The most vital element of that movie is the reality it depicts. Leopards who turn into humans have intercourse with humans and turn back into leopards. Then they can only turn back into humans again if they mutilate their lovers. I was awestruck by the sheer reality of it all. Understand? I'm talking about hyperrealism. After watching it, I felt like I just had to experience the world of Cat People for myself. That's why I decided to visit New Orleans.
Okay.
Another vital element of Cat People is the presence of Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell from Blue Thunder. Oh, talk about a masterpiece. Listen carefully, David. Only an amateur would call A Clockwork Orange his best movie. His best movies are Cat People and Blue Thunder. Period. You need to remember this, because it's the truth.
Whatever you say, mister. So, what's your point again?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I already covered all the important parts. When you say it was like something from a TV show, what exactly do you mean?
Hey, mister. Why do you look so excited, huh? Like a kid asking grandma to read him a fairy tale.
I just can't seem to keep myself away from young women who died in bizarre ways.
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes, but folks say they found the body hanging under a bridge on the bayou. And under that bridge, there was some kind of altar.
An altar?
Like something they use in black magic. Something horrible.
Voodoo?
Nah, wasn't nothing like that. Just a weird altar.
That's all?
Oh, and the body was all cut up in pieces. Scattered around the altar like.
So she was sacrificed?
That's what the fella who discovered her said, yeah.
Bingo, Zach. This case has got our names all over it.
By the way, Mr. FBI, I ain't seen a car in the parking lot. How'd you get all the way out here, huh? Don't tell me you walked.
Well, that's a very good question. Chef David, you've got a sharp eye. It's true that I didn't park my car in your parking lot. Do you know why?
Can't say I do.
Because it was stolen.
Huh? But you with the FBI, right?
Even FBI cars can be stolen. It could happen after you park your car on the side of the road and go off to do some legwork. When you're eating lunch, when you're watching a movie, when you're asleep at night, when you're buying cigarettes at the local supermarket. Your car can be stolen anywhere. That's precisely what it means to be an FBI agent. In my case, my car was stolen while I was on my way down here. But no need to worry. I already reported it to the local authorities. And I've also already acquired another mode of transportation.
Another mode?
Want to hear the details?
Not really, but I'll listen if you want me to.
Then please do. After I finished my work in Houston, I flew to New Orleans. Then, I rented a car at the airport. Whenever I visit the West Coast, I always rent a convertible, especially in California. But now I'm in hot and sticky Louisiana. So, I decided on a brand new hybrid car with a fully equipped air conditioning system.
A hybrid car?
Oh yes, they're marvelous. Vehicles that utterly defy everything you think you know about cars. Now, in the year 2005, it feels like we've finally entered the 21st century. Stomp down on the gas all you want. The engine won't make a sound.
It's silent?
At first, I felt like the landscape was moving past me on its own. Give it a few more years, and I'm sure we'll start seeing cars that run purely on electricity. Who knows? In a decade or so, electric sports cars may end up lining the parking lots of Silicon Valley. I can see it now. It's the world of The Last Starfighter, 1984, directed by Nick Castle. It's famous for being the first film to utilize realistic CG, but I couldn't care less about that. See, I was mesmerized by the beautifully refined mech designs. It even made me wish that I could be one of them myself, especially the Gunstar spacecraft. No other sci-fi movie has ever had.
So, where'd your hybrid car get stolen?
Sorry, I got off topic. I noticed it was missing after I finished my lunch and walked out of the diner. Incidentally, this diner was located at the entrance to a small town just south off the I-10. I went out to get back in it, but my hybrid car was nowhere to be found. I remembered exactly where I parked it, right between a blue pickup truck and a hedgerow. But when I came back from lunch, it had completely vanished. In short, someone stole it, and in its place, they left me this.
What?
A skateboard.
A skateboard?
Yes. While I was sliding my lunch into my stomach, someone was busy replacing my brand new hybrid car with a wooden board attached to 4 wheels. Remarkable, don't you think?
So then how did you get here?
By riding the skateboard, obviously. Why do you look so surprised? No, I couldn't ride the board very well at first. But by the time I hit the 3-mile mark, I'd more or less gotten the hang of it. By the 10-mile mark, I'd even learned to do a few tricks. It was a journey of self-discovery. Not even I knew I had this latent talent sleeping inside me.
This summer's gonna be another hot one. It's supposed to get over 95 today. Watch out you don't go getting heat stroke.
The Lise Clarkson case needs us. Don't you think so, Zach? The cat people are what guided us to New Orleans. We should be thanking Malcolm McDowell. Once we get home, let's watch Blue Thunder again. I'm already looking forward to it. Aren't you, Zach? Zach. The searing light. These scents. It's the deep South. That was a fabulous breakfast. You're the world's greatest chef.
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
Well, the tea was to die for. But I'd prefer coffee next time. What would a morning be without coffee? Baton Rouge. We've been chasing it all over America. But I feel like we're finally on the verge of finding something now. Don't you, Zach? I think it's about time we ordered a new briefcase. Yes, I know this one carries a lot of memories, but it's seen too much. This hole's from the shootout in Tucson. And this stain's from Miami. Ah, Miami. Now that was a fascinating case. Billy, our perp, cut his own torso right in two, even with the help of the drugs. A feat like that still requires incredible mental fortitude. I was so impressed that I forgot I'd left my briefcase on the floor. Same floor his blood gushed out onto. I know, Zach, I know. Now isn't the time for a trip down memory lane. An emergent drug that's been on the rise in 4 southern states. Personally, I think it originated right here in Louisiana, and Lise Clarkson's murder must be connected to it somehow. The 16-year-old girl who was murdered, her body was found beneath a bridge over the bayou, along with a strange altar. The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Carré, and he seems to be more fearsome than your average gangster. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law enforcement, Zach. You know, I keep thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, Zach. The Island, 2005, directed by Michael Bay. For a movie being shown at a cinema complex, it was surprisingly artistic. An experimental setting mixed with hard-hitting drama. It was art house sci-fi. That director's going to change the history of art house films. Are you following me here? This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner did. This is a turning point, Zach. You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history. Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre several years down the line. A genre known as island movies. I sure like the sound of that. Don't you, Zach? Hey there, Chef. What's cooking?
Chef, what are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David. I just heard from our chef that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that Le Carré is French, but does it have any special meaning?
Why, yes, sir, of course it does. A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
Yes, I would.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain. Le Carré means square in French.
Ah. And?
That's it.
That's it?
Yes, that's it, sir. Do take a gander at the town map in the lobby if it fancies you. It's beautiful, valuable, and old. I'm sure you'll understand once you see it. Now, please excuse me, sir. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to ask.
Did you see that, Zach? That was clearly David. Not a twin, not a split personality, just the work of a true professional. It's bizarre, but I can understand it. Remember what they say, the job makes the man. Do you feel that, Zach? Dozens of paintings no one will ever see. faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel. Zach, can you see him? His fashion sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him. Nice tie. Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
Don't be a fool. You know the answer. As for me, just call me Hoongan.
Hoongan. The title given to a leader in a certain religion. Is that what you are?
Do you comprehend the Oracle?
The Oracle? Put on your religion hat, Zach. Here we go.
Fell 10 maidens in the shrine of hunger. Find the flying serpent in the ambiguous zero. Dance with the flying serpent, and you will glimpse the other world.
10 maidens and an ambiguous zero. Got it. But what do you mean by otherworld?
Follow the Oracle.
Zach, did you hear all that? Looks like we've already taken our first step into chaos. But such is our duty. We need to accept the chaos, let it inside, then carefully dismantle it piece by piece. And after we've put all the pieces back into their rightful places, the truth will reveal itself. Let's capture the truth and present it with a shiny pair of silver bracelets, Zach. Zach, this is Carré. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say. You can tell this town was built by a very methodical person. No, wait. Maybe they just didn't care, and that's why it ended up this way. It's just another symbol of mankind's obsession with molding nature to fit our own rules. Zach, what did you think of Hoongan's Oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming, really. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets from the good old-fashioned countryside. Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The Oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go to the Shrine of Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Now where in this town can one satiate their hunger? The hotel, and where? And the 10 things that need to be knocked down. Simple, right? Alexis's Diner and Lane. This is it, Zach. There are even pins and a bowling ball on the sign. I bet we'll be able to eat some Cajun cuisine and bowl there. Maybe even both at the same time. Nice job, Zach. I knew you'd be able to find it. Now for the other oracle. There's no flying serpent on this map. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a dragon? I'm sure we'll find out later. First, let's just figure out where we need to go. Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a base number, but under what conditions would a base number be ambiguous? The answer is temperature, Zach. Yes. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, and 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more ambiguous 0 than that. The question is, does our 0 refer to Celsius or Fahrenheit? Let's think for a moment. We're in Louisiana. Which measurement system do we use here in America? The Clarkson Food Delivery Services Cold Storage Warehouse. That's got to be it. Even with this blazing sun in the sky, they can easily keep the temperature below freezing. Be honest now, Zach. You knew the answer from the very start, didn't you? And how about that Hoongan? What a mysterious character. His oracles may end up determining how much time we spend in this town.
Sorry, boss, but this is a smoke-free hotel. If you're dying to smoke, head out the entrance and you'll find a smoking area in the rear parking lot.
Don't tell me. You're the
At
bellboy.
your service, boss.
Are you good friends with the concierge and the chef?
We work at the same place, yeah. But, I can't really say whether we're good friends with each other. We're all professionals, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
I believe we've struck gold here, Zach. It just screams Deep South. Actually, no, it doesn't. This is all his charm. So, if I want to smoke, I should go out the entrance and around to the rear parking lot?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. I'll play by your rules.
Compared to non-smokers, smokers have a 4.7 times greater chance of getting lung disease. You know that means it's more likely than getting asbestos poisoning?
The risk of death from lung cancer is actually much lower than what you think it is. In fact, it's tiny when compared to heart disease, strokes, and pneumonia. We're always surrounded by easy ways to die, you know. Some people even get randomly struck by lightning and die right there on the spot.
Then I reckon you also know that secondhand smokers have 1.3 times greater the risk compared to smokers?
Of course.
So you won't mind paying the damages when I die of lung disease? How about writing that in a contract for me? You got a pen, right? I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Well, that's stupid. By the way, what's your name?
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, just call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Is something wrong with you? Adults ain't supposed to act like that. I only asked for your name so I can write it on the contract. You should have been able to figure that out if you're a real FBI agent like you said. Come on, sign here. Right here on the paper.
Just as I thought, Zach. This contract paper, it's a Sang Rouge wrapper. Sang Rouge is here, too. This must mean that Sang Rouge is connected to the Lise Clarkson murder case somehow. This is a sprawling case that spread across the entire South. It's within our jurisdiction, Zach. We'll need to steal the right to investigate from the local authorities at once. By the way, miss, what's your name?
Patricia Woods. But I gotta write my name myself, or else it won't be a real signature.
Tell me, Patricia, does this town have a sheriff, or is it under the jurisdiction of the nearest city police?
Perfect timing. Well, go on and steal it if you want it. I was just thinking about how this is way out of my daddy's league.
Thank you for the information, Patricia. Okay, Zach, it's time to get to work. How should we seize control from the sheriff this time?
Hey there. So, you're the fella from the FBI I've been hearing so much about. I'm Melvin. They call me the sheriff round here.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan? But call me York if you can. That's what everyone calls me.
Huh? Well, all right. Mr. York. How's that sound?
Fine by me.
I'm sure you figured this out, but our town's a small one. Yeah, folks are already busy spreading gossip about how some FBI agents come to town. Now, I reckon you came from the city. What was it? D.C., L.A., or New York? Anywho, in the city, it's normal not to know who your neighbor is. Fella who moves in next to you could cook up a dozen folks in his backyard and no one would bat an eye. That's the city for you. Now, I never lived in one myself, but I visited them a few times, so I know what it's like. All pigs must die in the city of wolves. Yeah! Now, does that sound badass or what? I bet you'd... Hey! I know, CLG. I'm just trying to make a little small talk, that's all. Anywho, round these parts, everyone knows each other's name. So lots of folks get leery when they see an étranger like you, and since it's my duty to protect the town, I thought I'd stop by and say hello.
Zach, it looks like this sheriff is quite the happy-go-lucky type. A clear indication of just how peaceful this town is. Melvin, about the Lise Clarkson case.
I knew you were here for that case. Can't put one past the FBI. So they even got eyes on the smallest of towns like us, huh? Our world is filled with information, and it's all within their grasp. FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
The Lise Clarkson case is connected to a top-secret case that we've...
I know. If you're fixing to take the lead, then go right ahead. I'm just the humble sheriff of a tiny little town. My jobs are to stop my neighbors from beating the piss out of each other and listen to old folks complain. Honestly, this whole murder case has been weighing me down. So I'm gonna give you my full cooperation, Mr. Special Agent, sir.
Well, Zach, that was anticlimactic. I didn't even get to use my secret weapon. Melvin, there's a cold storage warehouse on the southern end of town, isn't there? I'd like to get permission to enter it.
Say what?
You want to see where the body's being kept, right?
Oh, I get it now. Lisa's body, yeah. Now, that's what I call a special agent. You already figured that much out. But, I'm not too sure that, going down there at this point is really gonna help much, you know?
Explain it yourself, Daddy.
That's incredible. I don't believe this. Amazing. Did you hear that, Zach? They put the body in a cold storage warehouse. This is fantastic. Insanely fantastic.
Really? Well, how about that? Well, all right then. I'll head on down to the warehouse ahead of you and make sure we get permission to search it.
Sounds good.
The management company only keeps the warehouse open during certain hours, so you'll have to come during those hours. I ain't looking to create any further disturbances. So be on time. Got it? Come on, let's roll, CLG.
I'm gonna walk home, Daddy. I still got another stop to make.
Oh, if you say so, sweetie. She's a real sharp one, as you can see, so I try to stay out of her way. Well, all right then, York. I'll see you at the warehouse.
Hey, you. You ain't secretly cutting kids up and sticking them into jars while you work as an FBI agent on the surface, are you? Or using your FBI connections to sell kids to child trafficking organizations?
I've arrested people who've done both, but I've never engaged in either of those activities myself. Of course, I have imagined doing such things in order to learn more about the psychology of the criminals I deal with.
It was just a joke. Why are you getting all serious? And don't tell me what you imagine, or else I'll get scared of you for real. Hey, can I come with you? You signed a contract with me, remember? And besides, I'm kind of worried about my daddy.
Do whatever you like. This is America, land of the free. But I have one condition.
What condition?
Don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter. Zach, it feels like she's carrying something with her. Kind of reminds me of you back when we first met. I can't leave her alone like this. You feel the same way, don't you? Hey, Zach, it looks like Melvin called you a strange name. CLG, I think. What exactly does that mean?
Clever little girl. That's what it stands for, at least. It's nice that he made up his own nickname for me and all, but it sounds kind of weird. I wish he'd call me something normal, like just Patricia or Patty, you know?
Patty? Now that name's got a ring to it. I like it. How about Zach and I call you Patty from here on out?
Do whatever you like. Weird. You're heading to the warehouse, right? You gonna go straight there?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to talk to Zach. We're also on a mission to fell 10 maidens, you see. I'm eager to visit Alexis's diner in Lane, but we've only just arrived in this town, so it might be nice to stroll around a bit.
What? I thought thought you came here to investigate.
Hattie, you're still just a child. Why do you worry so much? We're born to be free, and this is America, land of the free. You should always feel free to do whatever you want. Isn't that right, Zach?
Maybe I shouldn't have come with you. I'm getting kind of nervous now.
Mr. York, that was mighty quick. The special agent does it again. You sure don't waste any time. I bet my CLG's got a lot to learn from you. By the way, Mr. York, looks to me like you aren't packing anything.
I was on vacation in New Orleans before I happened to stop by here.
Well, shoot, that won't do. Here, I got something I think you'll like. I call him Mr. Alligator. Badass, ain't he? It's a tranquilizer gun for the gators. And here's a radio. With this, you won't have to worry about any expensive roaming fees. Might take you a while to get used to them, but you'll get it. Try letting them rip a few times. Ain't no need to hold back out here.
Now this is an intriguing weapon. For a tranquilizer gun, it really packs a punch. But I'm afraid I'll decline. After all, this town is peaceful, isn't it?
Well, sure it's peaceful. At least the humans are. But the animals are a different story. Remember what I named it? There are some real mean-ass gators out there in the swamps. And every now and then, they wander into town. One of them even went and ate a kid once. It happened a long time ago, but still, one chomp's all it takes. They swallow down every last bit of you. Poor kid's parents didn't even know what to put in his coffin. The worst part is, that taught the gators just how tasty we humans are. So now, those suckers just attack on sight. Man-eating crocodiles will feast tonight. In Blood Swamp!
You know he's fibbing, right? Gators don't attack folks. I never heard about no kid getting swallowed by a gator.
Actually, Patricia, you're wrong.
I'm what?
Alligators do attack people, and it could happen in any town.
Huh?
Alligator, 1980. Directed by Louis Teague. It takes place in the Midwest, I believe. A teenage girl's pet alligator gets flushed down the toilet. Then, in the sewer, it feeds on the corpses of dogs that were used as test subjects for an experimental growth formula. After growing over 30 feet, it finally starts to go after humans. It's an extremely edifying movie. Back when I first saw it, I had a pet hamster.
Hey, Agent York. What's your first order of business? You're in charge now, remember?
Well said, Patricia. I nearly lost sight of my true goal. Melvin, I couldn't help but notice the name on the side of that truck. This facility is connected to the victim, isn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah. I reckon I better start from there. I'm gonna tell it to you straight right from the beginning, Mr. York. As you guessed, this warehouse is run by the Clarksons. The victim's father, Danny Clarkson, is the one who manages the whole place. Okay, but why did he choose to store her body in his own warehouse, right? Well, that's because there ain't no other place to store it. Our town has a clinic inside a church, but no more. Whenever someone kicks the bucket, we just bury him in the graveyard right outside of town. But not this time. We got a murder on our hands this time. We need to give Lisa's body an autopsy and keep it stored, right? So we had no choice but to rent out a corner of this warehouse.
I see. So that's what led to the ingenious choice to store the victim's body in a facility that her family owns.
Anywho, this is where the real story begins. Truth is, a few days before you got here, Lisa's body went missing.
Missing?
Yeah. All of a sudden, poof.
Did you leave the warehouse unlocked?
I most certainly did not. I locked the whole place up and made sure no one could get inside. No one stole the original key, and I couldn't find any fingerprints at the scene.
So, in other words, this is a locked room mystery.
The body of a beautiful young girl walks at midnight. Hey! All right, CLG. Reckon I should have told you about this earlier when you first said you wanted to come here. It just didn't seem like the time or place as I remember. Anywho, how about we call it a day and head back to my office? You can go through all the files there.
No, thank you. This is what I came to investigate.
But Lisa's body isn't here anymore. You sure?
That doesn't bother me one bit, Melvin. You see, I met a skeletal gentleman on my way here, and he was kind enough to give me an oracle.